Okay, so this is a breaking news. So Trump's big, beautiful bill has just passed. Okay, it's passed through the House of Representatives, and now it's going to be moving on to the Senate. And there are so many things in this bill. The bill is over 1,000 pages. Obviously, it's Trump's bill, so Republicans are backing it. Republicans won by the majority, 215 to 200 and 215 to 214. So this is going to be a quick video where I'm just going to break it down for you because there's something so surprising in this bill, so shocking in this bill that I have never seen anything like this before, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to break down what's in the bill, and then I'm going to show you a quick article about this bill, so we're all informed. And I think that you're smart enough to know what to do. Okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do. This is not a political video where I tell you what to think or how to think. I'm just going to break down some things that are in it and tell you the one really big shocking thing in there, and you can kind of decide what to do with it. So let's get right into this. All right, so obviously the bill came out just a few days ago, and what they tried to do is get it passed before the Memorial Day weekend. And so when the news cycle is low, people are out vacationing, no one's really going on, won't really look into it or talk about it. So they got it passed right before they went on Memorial Day weekend vacation. And when you look through it, there's some crazy stuff. So there's some basic stuff in there, like I said, that you would know and you would be okay with, like continuing on with the tax cuts that Trump did from 2017. Those are going to be continued on. That's a permanent provision, basically, is what they're trying to make it. Instead of it being a temporary provision, they are trying to make it a permanent provision. But let's talk about the big, shocking thing. Like I said, I don't want to waste a lot of time. I want to get right into it. So this is a budget bill, and there's lots of different things about Medicaid. I'll talk to you about that, Medicare. But the big, shocking thing that I'm getting right into is they tacked into the bill this crazy provision where the Supreme Court would basically not be able to tell Donald Trump anything. So they just snuck this into a budget bill wherein, like how the courts have been stopping Donald Trump with like injunctions and different things like that. Well, they slipped in the bottom of the bill. Trump was very adamant that this happened, where the courts are basically disarmed against him. They have no teeth. Okay, they can't really do anything to him, and this is crazy because this is unheard of. So I'm going to get into that in just a second and give you more of that, but I wanted to share, like, literally he put in there, like, they won't be suing me anymore, they won't be doing injunctions against me anymore, they won't be stopping me when I put something out. That is basically what he put into this, and I'm going to go and share that with you in just a second. I'm actually going to share the article with you, but let's talk about some stuff that's in there because there are some things that you need to know. So of course you already know, no tax on tips and overtime. So cash tips and overtime no longer taxed. But to me, let me be honest with you, the people that get cash tips don't declare them. When I was really young, I shouldn't say really young, like in my 20 years old or whatever, I worked at Red Lobster, and if somebody left me a tip in cash, I did not declare that. I just took that. So cash tips obviously have to be declared by the wait staff or whatever. But if you leave it on a credit card or a debit card, it's automatically accounted for. So if you received a cash tip, you didn't declare it anyway, but now you don't have to pay tax on it. So same thing with overtime. That probably is a little bit more, that there's no tax on overtime. We'll see how that one goes. Then there was a child credit tax deduction that now goes up to $2,500. That's a really a good one. But let's talk about a big one. A big one is that there is now a work requirement for Medicaid. So you know Medicare is for older people. If you're 65 or older, that is the federal health care that you could get. Okay, Medicaid is through the states though. So the federal government gives like block grants or money to the states to run their Medicaid programs. Well, now the federal government has decided in this bill that there is a work requirement, meaning you have to have a job. And the big change was you weren't going to have to work until January of 2029. That's when that provision was going to take effect. Well, the Republicans, especially the really far-leaning left ones, the people that are really conservative, those conservative Republicans, they were like, no, we want that to happen sooner. So it's now December of 2026. In order to keep getting your Medicaid benefits, you need to get a job. Okay, that's basically what there is. It's a work requirement. That has never been before. Like, obviously, because a lot of people that get Medicaid, they could be sick, they could be disabled, they are having, it's a medical issue, or again, disabled. For example, I was able to even qualify for my son that's special needs, different things like that, because I'm self-employed. If there's any lapses in insurance, different things like that. to help people. But you are going to have a work requirement, and they push that up from 2029 to 2026. So that is a really, really big thing. And I want you to comment in the comment. I want to have a conversation about this. Like I said, I am not here to tell you how to vote and how to think in politics. I'm not even really big on politics. There's just some things that sometimes affect us that we just have to kind of know and discuss. So let's talk about that. Like, do you think you should have to work in order to get Medicaid? I don't know. I really don't. So food stamps, SNAP, the SNAP program, which is, formerly food stamps, they're getting some really big cuts. Bottom line, they're just cutting that. They're just saying, we're not going to spend as much money on that. The federal government really needs to cut back on some of these programs for the poor and the needy and different things like that. Obviously, the Democrats are like, this is ridiculous that we don't have these social programs to help people, and that's what our tax dollars should be going towards. The Republicans are like, this has gotten out of hand. Too many people are not incentivized to work. They just sit around and they get these social benefits. So they are cutting really big the SNAP program and how much money they are putting to that. There was some major cuts to the SNAP program, the food, food stamps, basically food stamps. Just think food stamps if I'm saying SNAP and different things like that. All right, let's keep going. So again, this is not law yet. It passed through the House, then it will need to pass through the Senate, and then the president will sign it. Now, if they don't change it, they don't need a majority, and it doesn't have to go back to the House or anything like that. So if it passes with a majority in the Senate with no changes, then it'll just go right on to the president to sign, and then this bill will be law. And like I said, the far right has wanted some last minute changes to it, and that's a big one. So there's also a big thing on tax energy credits. Obviously, the Republicans are not real big on tax, on energy and green and all of that stuff. And there were some tax credits that they're like, we're going to reduce those. Like, we're not going to incentivize people to be green and to recycle and clean energy and all of that. We're not going to incentivize that as much and give these tax breaks and these tax cuts. So they're going to reduce those credits and things like that. The remittance tax, that is a big one for people like me that have a lot of immigrant family. So the remittance tax is a tax that you pay when you send money out of the country. Okay. And right now it's just 5%. So if I have some family, let me just use some randomness in Germany, and I send some money to Germany, obviously I am sending money that I have already been taxed on. That's my money. So the tax was only 5%. Well, they're going to actually reduce that even lower to 3.5%. That is what's proposed in this bill. That's really different, lowering the tax, because again, I don't really think that we should be paying any taxes. I've already paid the taxes on my money, and I choose to send it to my family, in Portugal or wherever. Why am I being taxed again? But that is a remittance tax, and that is something that they are actually proposed in this to reduce. So I feel like that's kind of neutral. I don't think too many people are going to have these big, oh my gosh, why are you doing that type of things? But comment below, let me know what you think about that. We can have a conversation about that. This one has been getting everybody up in arms. This one here, okay? Gun silencer. So before there was a $200 tax or fee, however you want to call it, when you bought a gun silencer, that is proposed to be removed. No more gun silencer tax. And I don't know what to think of that, if I'm being honest with you. I don't have a gun silencer. I don't even know anybody with a gun silencer, and I do have some gun enthusiast type friends. I obviously am not a big person on guns. If I'm giving you my personal opinion, I'm not a big fan of guns and think that everybody should have guns. Let me know what you think. Obviously, some people are really big on that amendment, the Second Amendment, my right to bear arms. And there's a lot of Republicans and far left that really believe in this. So Trump is kind of just giving them something with that, with the gun silencer removal tax, whatever. Anyway, then we have these MAGA tax savings accounts. Okay, so there was supposed to be a savings account that they have proposed called a MAGA savings account, where you could start putting money into an account for your kids, okay, for their school and different things like that, college, however you want to save. It's a savings account for your kids, and they were called MAGA accounts. Well, they've actually just changed the name, proposed to change it to Trump accounts. Again, Trump likes to put his name on everything. I do not know why we would want to do that. But again, the savings account itself is a good thing. Obviously, tax-free saving for your kids. I'm real big on that. I'm, mom of 5, really mom of 7, but I got all these kids. So I am big on, hey, save some money for them, put some money aside, put properties in their name, do different things like that. And there's so many things already in the tax code that allows you to do that. Pay your kids money, write that off, put money aside for them. Put savings money in their savings account, buy them condos, all kind of stuff that you could do for your kids, and that is inside of our current tax code. So that's really fun to me that they say, let's call it a Trump savings account. So again, Comment below. Again, I don't think that has any real big thing. So let me share my screen because this one is big because I got some stuff to get back to, and this is big. This is breaking. I could not believe that this was put into a real bill. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like they're like, yeah, Trump cannot basically get, he's disarming the Supreme Court and the courts that have been stopping him. Like literally, I'm not messing with y'all. Y'all can't stop me. I do what I want to do, and there's nothing you could do. Okay, so let's do this. Let me go ahead and block that. Let me get that because I don't want this. But okay, let me show you right here. This is a Newsweek article. All right. And this is so crazy to me because it's hidden. It's just like hidden in the bill. Like I said, the bill is more than 1,000 pages long, and it would make most existing injunctions in antitrust cases, police reform cases, school desegregation cases, and others unenforceable. Okay, so it serves no purpose but to weaken the power of the federal courts. That to me is hilarious. Like you literally were able to sneak inside of a bill and they let you do it. They really let you do it. It's funny. You can see where my stuff I've been searching for. It is here because that's like of something I was looking at for my kid to have a party there one day. But anyway, that's an ad. Okay, so why it matters. The provision would prohibit courts from enforcing contempt citations for violations of injunctions, temporary restraining orders, the main types of rulings that have been used to rein in President Donald Trump. So I just think that is so hilarious that he was able to sneak that into the bill and like take away their power. And that was the point of it. And again, this is a budget bill. This is not a bill for that. So, and they basically, where we're offered all of these different cuts and we're saying, hey, let's propose this for the budget. It's unheard of to just sneak in, hey, the Supreme Court and these federal courts can't rein me in. They can't do anything. Let's take away some of their power. And to me, that is shocking. It is. It really is shocking to put inside of a budget bill. I don't think you guys are getting that. This is a budget bill. And Trump puts in there provisions saying that federal courts cannot do certain things because they are things that they have tried to do to him to stop him. And they just put that in the bill, and we'll see if the Democrats pick up on it, if they stop it when it gets to the Senate. I am so interested to find out what happens because we are in new territory, people. We are in new territory. Like I said, I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm not going to tell you how to vote, but I do want to talk about that because this president is getting a lot of power. This president is going to be probably, obviously the most powerful president, and he's doing things to continue to grow that power. That is fun. Like that is so fun to me, like just watching it from a spectator's perspective. I'm not saying this should happen or if this should not happen. I'm saying, wow, popcorn in hand. Wow, we are going to just take away the power. Remember, there's 3 branches of government. You have the judicial, the executive, and the legislative. Okay, the judicial is what he's trying to take away their power. He is the executive branch. The president is the executive branch. The legislative branch is Congress. Like I said, the House of Representatives making a bill, and then it has to go through Senate. That is the legislative branch of government. Then you have the executive branch of government, which is Donald Trump and the presidency. And then you have the judicial branch of government, which are the courts. And he is trying to take away the power of the courts, like literally inside of this bill using the legislative branch. Really, really interesting stuff right now. Again, the bottom line that I want you to know is that you have to start making a plan for you. Go to deals.noellerandall.com. Get my best-selling book, Pick a Horse, The Power to Choose You. And in fact, you'll also get this journal that will help you achieve your #1 goal in 100 days. Go to deals.noellerandall.com. That's deals, DEALS dot Noelle, NOELLE, Randall, RANDALL.com. Get both of these books for free. You just cover the shipping. We will ship them out immediately because the bottom line is you got to just start working on you. This is not about being into everything that's political. You see what's happening in the world, and what I need you to know is that you can start creating your own path. Start choosing you. Start choosing making the business that you want to make. Start making the decisions that you want to make with how you make money, especially how you make money. There's going to be a lot of incentives to have a business under the Trump administration, a lot of tax cuts, a lot of reductions, lowering your liability, a lot more funding for businesses, a lot of stuff. And this is the time for you to start choosing you, and having a goal that you are working on is how you achieve goals. And this book, this journal journal here can help you achieve your goal in just 100 days. You get both of these for free. You just cover the shipping at deals.noellerandall.com. Go there right now. Let's have a conversation about what's going on with this big, beautiful bill, and let's see how this works out for you. But like I said, it's going to work out really well if you put the ball in your court and you start saying, I am in control of my destiny and I choose me. I know what I want to do with my life, and I'm going to put together a plan to achieve it. These two books will help you do that. Deals.noellerandall.com. Why? Because I want to make sure that you have all of the knowledge, all of the tools, and all of the resources that you need to be successful. This is Noelle Randall. To your success.